of our current session. So we have it to be youth leadership in climate change. And I believe that this is a very, very important topic in the climate space. It's important that youth take the leadership role, right? Um, let's have up to 20 participants and we can continue. Please, if you know your friends that are not here or your fellow participants that are not here yet, you can please reach out to them that this session has started so we don't waste much time. And we also have our facilitator on here. It won't be nice to, not keep to schedule. All right. So without further ado, our topic today, as I treated, is youth leadership in climate change, and our facilitator will be no other than Oluseyi Ale, the founder of Glued Climate. So before moving on, I would like to give us a summary overview of who our facilitator is, so um, we can get familiar and know that our facilitator today is a notable person in the climate space, right? So Oluwaseyi Ale is a distinguished development and innovation leader, right, with a proven track record in program management, strategic partnership, and grant development. Please, if you can hear me, can we indicate with maybe an emoji or anything like that? Just to be sure that I'm communicating, guys. All right, thank you. Thank you very much for that. So, our facilitator today, in person of Oluwaseyi Ale, he currently his work sits at the critical intersection of health, climate action, and innovation within the Nigerian landscape. Currently, he leads innovation, fundraising, national and immunization programs, nutritional and immunization programs at HelpMom, where he coordinates the delivery and implementation of essential products across multiple states to improve maternal and infant health outcomes. Previously, as a pivotal figure at the Next Innovation Technology Park, Oluwaseyi demonstrated his commitment to the startup ecosystem by incubating over 500 youth enterprises across 22 universities. During this tenure, he was instrumental in securing high-level partnership with influential global and national entities, including the Federal Government of Nigeria, GIZ, Mastercard, and Horizon Europe. This experience solidified his reputation as a facilitator of scalable impact and institutional collaboration. Beyond his corporate and health tech leadership, he is the founder of Good Climate Sustainability, a non-governmental organization dedicated to expanding climate education access for African youth. Through this initiative, he empowers the next generation with knowledge necessary to navigate and mitigate environmental challenges. By blending expertise in tech-driven health solutions with a passion for grassroots climate advocacy, Oluwaseyi continues to drive resilient, inclusive development strategies that foster long-term socio-economic growth across the continent. Wow. As you can see, as you can hear, this our facilitator is a man of timber and caliber. I mean, all these shows that what you're about to the insights we're about to get from him today are sure going to be very valuable. So, ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you Oluwaseyi Oluseyi Ale. Please, you have the floor.
Um, Good afternoon, everyone. Please let me just be very sure that you can hear me so that we can start. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Very clear.
All right, that's fine. Okay. All right. So thank you so much. And thank you so much for the introduction. Um, all right. So today we want to this is actually not really like a teaching time. So this is actually like a time for us to discuss. And so we want to like really like discuss some of the things that has been happening around the climate space. So let me tell you a little bit of story before I start. So I attended the Federal University of Agriculture, that's FUNAB in Abeokuta, and it was a very wonderful time, you know. And luckily for me, I've always wanted to study medicine in school. And if you ask me why I wanted to study medicine, and the reason is just because I want to help people. And Nigeria can actually happen to you. I can't tell you like is a personal record. I can't really tell you the amount of time I have to write jump. Like I kept on writing it, even though I kept on passing every time. But like brilliant student right from secondary school, you wanted to do this, you can do it. But Nigeria happened to you, Sha. But all right, so one day someone actually asked me that, okay, fine, like, is it just medicine? Why did you want to? So I told the person that, oh, I wanted to save life. Like I have so many things I wanted to do for people. And he was like, is that the only way you can do it? And lo and behold, that was the question that changed my life. And I realized that the only way you can change people's life is not just by studying medicine and surgery. If you are saving the environment, you are actually saving people. In fact, you are doing more than people that are in the hospital because, they will just have maybe roughly like 5 people to or 10 people to attend to in the world every day. I grew up in the hospital actually, so I know a lot about medicine. So just 5 people, but you are taking care of people. When you are taking care of greenhouse gases, you are cutting down emissions, you're doing those things like those smoke that should kill people, like you are alleviating it, you are producing a lot of like forest canopies that could help. You are producing food, sustainable food for that could help people. I mean, what kind of way do you also want to help people again? Like, I think that's actually like the best. So maybe now I used to like thank God that at least I did not even study medicine because I would have been a very, very bad doctor actually, because I don't think I have that patience to really sit in the ward. All right. So I just want to let us start with how climate change is actually very, very important and how we as a youth um, should contribute. So, and that is also what made me to start the organization, Good Climate Sustainability Initiative. And I started it at my final year in the university because I was just thinking that, we're studying environmental management and toxicology. Like, I did not hear about climate change until like 300 level. And I had to hear it, I think COP26 was the first time I was able to hear it myself. And I was like, so there's a whole lot of problems. So we as a youth, we need to stand up for ourselves. We need to do more for ourselves in terms of self-learning, in terms of advocating, in terms of letting our voice know. Like nobody's actually like going to give you that platform. I'm going to tell you in Nigeria, nobody's really going to give you. Maybe private organization is going to give you, but when it comes to government, they are still going to like be taking old people to go and be representing us every time and every time. All right, so I think I have a slide. I don't really like showing slide though, but I think I just have to do. Uh, all right. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen now. Uh, There's a way they used to make. All right. Can you see my screen? Hello?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Trying to, I'm actually trying to start a slideshow. Okay, so I'm going to start a slideshow, but I want to be very, very sure. Okay, no, I can't do a slideshow because I'm going to be reading something else. Okay, but it's fine. So since we're talking about youth leadership and climate entrepreneurship in Nigeria, so I really want to like focus on these two topics because one thing we've not been able to do is that we've not been able to bring climate change to the baseline. So the baseline means that look at tech today. I mean, look at tech 10 years ago. Tech was actually very new 10 years ago. And, people were talking about tech and this and that and that and that and that. Some people started going to, so like, if you were reading computer science, like maybe 50 years ago, you are literally useless because nobody is going to like attend to you. And it's the same way today, too. If you're reading climate change in school today or anything environment, you might be useless. But look at what tech is now. But the time tech became so solid was when they moved to the business part. Because see, anything that do not improve the economy is actually not so important because for you to be very, very important, you also have to affect the economy. But now let's look at it. Is climate change affecting the economy? It is. But it's the fact that we don't know the way it is. So I know so many speakers have spoken about that. And so I'm not going to like be maybe like telling you about climate change effect or things like that again. I just want to move to the very, very important one about youth leadership in climate and entrepreneurship. Now, there are so many things you can do in climate now that will solidify you. Whether you're a photographer, you are a storyteller, you're a content creator, you are a chemist, you are this, you're a businessman, there's a seat for you on the table. And that is what we want to talk about today. All right. So let's look at this graph. I have the study notes, so let me just go to mine. So I'm not going to be reading what is actually on the slide. So please just listen to me more. Now, let me set the stage. So Nigeria actually sits at an intersection of two remarkable realities. Number one, we are one of the most climate vulnerable nations on earth. Africa is one of the most vulnerable because any addition to 1 degree, we are actually on fire in Africa. And we also have one of the youngest population on the earth. That is actually not a coincidence. It is actually a challenge and an opportunity at the same time. So it means that we've gotten a solution to our problem at the same time. So now the question for this section is that what do we do with it? So we have a problem and we also now have a solution. Imagine we have 63% of Nigeria population is actually under 25 years old. That's 63%. So that means a whole lot of us are youth. And 9/10 of the most vulnerable countries are in sub-Saharan Africa, according to UNFCCC. That's the report in 2026. 9 out of 10, like if you are counting all African countries, most African countries are climate vulnerable, Nigeria inclusive. Maybe you're going to have countries in the coastal region, maybe Middle East, maybe towards Asia, Oceanic, like Haiti, Jamaica, those ones are hard, but there are just a few of them. Now, 2060, Nigeria actually net zero target under the NDC. So I'm going to be coming back to NDC 3.0. That's our own deadline. Like that's our own national determined contribution that we want to do. We want to attain net zero by 2060. Can we do this? Yes, we can. So now let's look at this illustration again. A farmer in Kebbi State. So imagine a 60-year-old farmer in Kebbi State who has farmed the same land for 40 years. He knows when rain comes. Now, how long they last. When the harmattan begins, his calendar is built on past pattern passed on by generation. So when you know when rain will fall, you know when to plant, you know when to harvest, you even know the amount of maybe water you're going to need. But what has climate change cost? In the last 5 years, those patterns have been broken. Imagine it's raining in Lagos this morning, and this is May. Normally, we're supposed to be having maybe first rain, maybe March, but now it's just starting raining in March. I mean, in May. So that means that people that have planted so many things, what is going to happen to them? Now, flood also arrived early. Droughts are running longer. Crops are failing in ways that we cannot even predict. So these people are experiencing climate problem. But this same farmer, he has no seat at the table when Nigeria climate plans are written. He doesn't, there's nothing he can say. The honorable in the House of Assembly, nobody even know them. Thank God, they even did primary election recently. I don't even know if you know any of them. Like they only come once in 4 years. But these same people that are facing this problem, they should be the one that have seat at the table. But who does so? So let's look at it. So let me ask you a question, and I'm going to get our contribution in the chat box. So if you had to explain Nigeria climate vulnerability to a 12-year-old in your own community, so using only things that they can see and touch, what will you point to? So it's a question I want people. So I'm going to be looking at the chat box now. So if you had to explain, okay, let me just type the question in the chat box. Okay, so I'm going to give us like 2 minutes to answer this question. Where's the chat box? Okay, all right. So I'm waiting for your answer. All right, everybody, let's go. I'm going to be reading our name: Joseph Joel, Otasowe, Zebo, Benedict Nko, Pelumi, Bernard, Yetunde, Lekis, Zazanu, Christopher, Ibe. I'm waiting for your answer. If you had to explain Nigeria climate vulnerability to a 12-year-old in your own community, using only things that you can see and touch, what will you point to? I'm waiting for our answers, please. First person, I don't know, maybe there will be gift for the first person, but I've not seen an answer. Ibikule Messi, Flood, thank you so much. Thank you, Ibe. Azan Abubakar, I've not seen your answer. Obioma, thank you. Erosion and rainfall. Wow, that's cool. All right. Let's go. We have 1 more minute to go. Flooded street and homes. Yeah, very cool. Heat wave. Thank you. Lagos, in fact, you could have put Lagos heat there. Longer heat period over flooding gutters. Thank you. That's correct. That's correct. All right. The hotter sun. Like, please, can somebody do like you could have said Lagos sun, like poor agricultural yield. Yeah, very cool. Poor agricultural quality education. We can maybe link it later. Dried plants. Thank you. There's not even corn. I like eating corn, and I don't even know what happened to corn this time. It came around last month, April. We've not seen it again. Maybe it will come out again. We don't know. All right. So thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you. All right. So let's look at this chart on the screen. So this is kind of like a meaningful versus tokenistic participation. So you just read it. I want us to go on it. So now, what real youth leadership actually looks like, I'm going to tell you. So when I say tokenistic, it means that what often happens, what have we been saying? Meaningful means that what are we building towards? What do we want to achieve? Now, the word leadership gets used so loosely. It loses its meaning. So before anything else, so let's define what leadership means. Now, tokenistic participation, you know what they call token? That small thing that they used to press money. Tokenistic participation means that being invited into spaces as a symbol. So let's say that they said, okay, let's invite people for climate. They were not like, okay, they've invited a lot of people. They're like, people will talk if you do not invite any youths. Let's shall put one person. They don't even know. They shall put one person. So that's the meaning of tokenistic participation. Meaningful participation means shaping decisions, designing solutions, and holding actors accountable. Meaningful participation means shaping decisions. So now let's look at tokenistic versus meaningful. The first one is invited to represent youth at events. They just invite you. Most times you don't even know what it is. ask to endorse decision that has already been made. So they will just call you, yeah, and put your mouth there, youth, so that they will just put youth in the TV, so that they will know that youth are part. One youth slot on a 20-person panel, like I've mentioned this already, consulted after policy is drafted. So meaningful participation means number one, co-designing NDC implementation plan. I've already told us what NDC means, national determinist contribution, like what do we want to, what is our target? And I've said that Nigeria target by 2060 is net zero emission. We don't want to emit anything. Collecting community level climate data. Like I have a lot of friends that are doing this. I think they call Lagos Runners. So please, if you don't have any organization you are into, this is actually the time for you to join an organization, possible as a volunteer, as anything. Just please just join. Like if you want to belong to this community, I mean, to this sector, you have to be part of a community. Like so I know I've done something with them before, Muniro. So we used to run around Lagos and collect data, air pollution data, and things like that. And also when I was in school, we do a lot of like plastic waste picking and things like that. So sitting at state level NDC review bodies. Now, thank God local government are now collecting allocation now. So some of them also like have an avenue for this. Then building accountability dashboard for targets. So these are very, very, very important. Now, where youth can plug in right now, three places: community monitoring, state NDC coalitions, engagement with stakeholders. Now, I want to ask, how many of you have been in a room where your presence was symbolic rather than substantive? What did that feel like? Or what will it have taken to make it real? So because of our time, I think I have just maybe 24 minutes more. So I'm not going to be asking this question. So now, let me give you a case study. One of the case study is Uganda Youth Climate Council. So in 2022, Uganda actually formalized a Youth Climate Council with direct advisory powers to the Ministry of Water and Environment. So members were selected through competitive processes, received training in climate policy like you're doing now at NG Youth SDG, and were given formal mandate to review national climate plans before submission. So within 8 months, the council had contributed 14 amendments to Uganda NDC implementation guideline, including provisions for climate smart agriculture specific to smallholder youth farmers, and new monitoring framework for displacement caused by flooding. Now, these were not just suggestions, like they were part of the law. It was more like you are part of the House of Assembly. They created 14 amendments to the Uganda NDC implementation guideline. Is anything like that happening in Nigeria? No. How many people are less than 25-year-olds, even in the state of assembly? I saw one man, the man is almost like maybe 70-something years old. He's still contesting for Lagos House of Assembly. What do you want to go and do there? Whereby we youths are supposed to be the ones there. Now, meaningful participation requires formal mandate, technical capacity, and institutional access. So not just goodwill. So youth like this, you must be trained. And that is what this section is about. And thank God, NG Youth is doing this. You need to have information. And you also need to let your voice be outside. And now let me just tell you, let me just drift a little bit. So it's not just about waiting for opportunity. And thank God for social media now. So I don't know what you are. I don't know what. Thank you, Pelumi. I don't know what you're using your social media for now. I'm on Instagram, and every day I see a lot of people dancing on TikTok. Like you should be talking about important things. Talk about flood. Talk about. You can use TikTok. You can even dance about flood. Ah, like I don't know how to do all those street dance, but maybe yeah, this I think so I can dance because this is actually like a young people facilitator. I can dance, right? Because we're very young here. So dance on TikTok, dance and mention and talk about what is affecting the community. On Facebook, talk about you don't even need to know how to speak good, like a lot of English. Talk about flood Emma, don't let flood, maybe in your own language. Maybe you can just create one viral something and do not dispose refuse, do not dispose refuse, do not dispose refuse, do not dispose. Like those things are what you can do because you're not going to be called to the House of Assembly tomorrow. No, I don't think there's actually chance for us. But where do we have chance is also by what you can use your own platform to do. Your Twitter page, your TikTok page, your Instagram page. If you go on my Instagram, you see a lot of work I've done on climate change. I started right from school. You know, we started clubs in school, like green. We were writing. So we used to write. I remember when I was in 300 level, we started writing about the environment and all. And there's also so many things that you can do. So please, I'm putting it to you. Don't wait for a big idea. Where you can start is by content creation on the environment and climate change. Turn it into your own organization. After this, make it your own page. And funny enough, you start making money because if the content is actually relatable also and it's fun, people will want to listen to you and you also make money too. All right, so let's move on. I think so that is so community monitoring just means that track adaptation outcomes. In fact, do you know that even on you can start going to local government and start asking questions. Like, and you can be putting it on your page, like your page, like people will be coming there. So look at what budget is doing. So budget is actually tracking the budget allocation of every local government, every state government, and every parastatals in Nigeria. Budget is owned by Mr. Shimoni Bile, and that is actually how it started. Engagement with stakeholders too. Talk, go to public hearings. And I'm saying that you don't even need to go to public hearing. Turn your own page to a public hearing. Let people come and talk. Let people come and talk. Please just give me um, like 1 minute. I need to pause for 1 minute.
All right. So while our facilitator is taking a break, I hope we are jotting down questions, getting insights on, actionable insights on uh, youth leadership in the climate space. So I am hoping that we are getting down a lot of questions for our facilitators, and as well we are learning a lot and gaining actionable insights. So let's keep on doing that. Okay, I think it's back, so you can take the floor.
All right, thank you. Sorry, I had to. There's a meeting I'm supposed to have, so I just have to tell them to reschedule. I'm so sorry. Okay, so where are we? Don't let me even bore us with a lot of talk because I see what I want to do today is that I really want to hear your questions. I want to hear your concerns, and I also want to share some of the personal things I've also been able to do. But let me quickly run over some of these things. Um, so there's an HTML link I'm going to send to us. I'm not sure. Maybe I can just publish it. So I have a teaching note I'm following, but I feel like we really need to read it. So maybe I'll publish it online and I will send it to us. So now let's look at this. Community proximity as a policy advantage. Now, this is a mindset shift. Youth often underestimate the value of what they already know. Now, look at this. The Lekki flooding. So I want to talk about this. I'm actually still on, and I'm actually still on this. So in 2020, flooding in Lagos Island and part of Lekki Aja axis displaced thousands of residents. In fact, thank God for the new road. Thank God they just did the road, sha, but I shall know that flood is still going to carry some people again this year. Now, National Flood Climate Report mentioned the events in aggregate, but what reporters couldn't capture was which specific streets flooded first, which drainage channels were blocked by illegal structures, which family had no flood warning at all, and which temporary markets were permanently destroyed. So now a team of young researchers from Lagos University, they went door to door and they documented all of this in their neighborhood level flood impact report. Very, very, that's the same people I was talking about earlier. That report was later used by an international organization to design a community-based early warning system, and they were funded with £400,000 in climate adaptation finance. Just look at it. When things happen, it is an opportunity for you. All you just have to do is that think. So now, community proximity is not just lived experience. It is a form of primary data collection. You were there. What action did you take? Now, this kind of work does not require PhD. You don't even need to have BSc. It requires attention, documentation skills, and the courage to submit. I've just told you, see, your phone camera, ordinary your phone camera, will give you a lot of things in life. If you check my phone today, I have so many pictures I used to take. Whenever I'm walking somewhere, if I see refuge somewhere, I'll snap it. If I see flood somewhere, I'll snap it. There was a day I went to around Ajao Estate. There's one river in Ajao Estate in Lagos here. Like that river, I know by now that river will be so flooded by now. And the rivers, I took the picture. In December 2025. That's last year, December. I took the picture. There were a lot of refuse. People were bringing refuse. They were pouring it there. Now, do you know that that's the content? If I go there tomorrow and there's flood and I take the picture, do you know that's another content? All I just need to do is that come online and come and say that this is what caused the flood. That video, if I should post it online, we have more than 10,000 viewers because I've been able to relate something to something. And that is how to be a climate leader. There's nothing more than that. Maybe at this stage that you have. You don't need a whole lot of education to start. What you need to start is your phone and ideas. Thank God for ChatGPT now. You can take ideas from ChatGPT and all. Oh, okay, you're not my, no, sorry. Sometimes you're not going to be seeing my screen because I need to move between two screens. Right. So let's move forward. I really want to round this up quickly so that now, so very interesting part. I want us to talk about green economy. Now, this is also me telling you how to, okay. So in green economy, we want to talk about 4 sectors that are creating real opportunities now. So this is me talking about climate entrepreneurship now. So you are going to pick the one you want. Number 1 is energy transition. Number 2 is climate smart agriculture. Number 3 is waste and circular economy. Number 4 is climate finance intermediation. Now, the first one, energy transition. Nigeria has actually committed to commit 30% of renewable energy in electricity mix by 2030. Like, so we want to generate 30% of our energy by renewable sources. So now, if you don't know what you want to do with your life, start thinking about energy transition, renewable energy. You don't need to go and read medicine. See, and I'm saying that go and learn solar, biogas, and things like that, because they're going to be making a lot of money. Number 2 is climate smart agriculture. One of my mentors just called me last week and he told me that he wants us to start a farm. And the input is going to be, I think it's going to be around $2.5 million investment that we're going to start with. And it's going to be greenhouse farm, like climate smart agriculture. Like that's another way. Number 3 is actually waste and circular economy. People used to think that plastic waste is the most lucrative. No, normal waste, sewage, is one of the most lucrative. And Nigeria generates over 32 million tons of solid waste annually. So not even talking about sewage waste, like sewage, like solid one, just 32 million tons. If you go into the business of waste management today, you're going to have a lot of money. And there's a whole lot of problem also in the value chain too. Like, I don't know, maybe you know in your house that the people that are packing refuse are not coming. Yeah, they're not coming. It's not because government is not doing anything. It's just because the demand is too much. The waste is too much. This morning now, there was environmental. You need to know how everywhere was filled. Like everywhere in Lagos was filled. Many vehicles are available. Just few. But everywhere was, when people are saying that, oh, Lagos is smelling, Lagos is smelling, I'll just be looking at them that, okay, don't worry, Lagos is smelling. We know Lagos is smelling, but what are you doing? These same people that are saying Lagos is smelling, they are still the one dropping refuse on the road. They are still the one that now they said environmental now. Like people were angry last month that Lagos wants to do environmental, but you're the one that said Lagos is smelling. Now they want to do environmental now. You are shouting, you are protesting. Let them do it. So if we don't want Lagos to smell, it is the work of everybody. It is your own work too. I took a bus last week and I sat in the front seat. And there's this girl beside me, very fine girl, like too fine girl. Like, thank God I did not even ask her out sef, because it would have been very embarrassing. She was eating in the bus, like these Lagos people. And next thing, before I could say Jesus, this girl threw the plate. The food has not even finished. She threw the plate outside. I wanted to slap her. Like, I really felt like slapping her because, like, oh, moving boss. Oh God, I was disappointed. I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus. I never asked for a number because imagine that I have the kind of number, like, so embarrassing. Like, I don't know. I don't know if any one of us here are still doing it. I know, but I'm not going to call you out, bro. So just chill. So I'm not going to call you out, but please let us. These are action, and it's also something that you can start talking about to online. So I know I have just 5 minutes, 4 minutes more. All right. So now, so let me just give you us examples of people that are doing this, and please just note this down. Like you can write it down. Go and read about recyclers. They are really into waste management. So started by I've forgotten her name. Recyclers collect recyclable waste from low-income households using cargo bags. Then they process it and they also give people money. Also look at Daystar Power. Daystar Power is in Abuja. They raised over $40 million in international climate finance. Like, and what they do is that they generate electricity using CO2. Twiga Foods is in Kenya. Twiga, Twiga, Twiga Foods in Kenya. Farmer Line in Ghana also. Like they're really like doing a lot. So these people are not exceptional actually. It's just that they saw a problem. They saw an environment problem and they decided to work on it. Just simple. Decide to work on it. Look at Packham. Packham app is an Uber for waste, something that you can start. So start thinking about today. What are these environmental problems? As small as they are, it can turn you into Mark Zuckerberg of tomorrow. Now, roles that are available to you. Number one, solar and energy access agents. So I've told you, please go and learn solar. I know GIZ is doing a lot of program on solar. And there's a program I'm also going to be doing next month for GIZ too, teaching people about light manufacturing. And I know that solar and biogas is also part of it. You can actually follow me on Instagram. So I'm going to be posting it. You can follow me on LinkedIn too. Carbon credits project developer. So climate communicator, I've been speaking about this. Climate communicator, content creator on climate, green logistics operator, agri. If you thinking farmers are poor, you need to change your thinking. Farmers are not poor. Start thinking about it. All right. So the thing is, so this is actually where I'm going to end. So what I would just say is just that because I really want us to ask questions so that I can answer them. So there are so many opportunities that are available for us. Um, so advocacy is also part of the job, like I've mentioned. You also need to advocate for clean gutter, advocate that people should not throw refuse anyhow, advocate that people should not like cut trees anyhow again, against deforestation and all. So now leadership is both governance plus entrepreneurship. You don't expect as you can make money out of some, sorry, if you are making out of money, if you are making money out of something, do you know you're also solving the problem? Because the way to make money is by giving value. So if you give value, you make money. So go and think about what you need to do about this. All right, so this is actually where I'm going to stop because I really want to take questions. So, all right, all right, thank you so much. So now, questions. So before we head, all right, if you are too shy to ask your question in person, you can type. All right, Mukhtar. All right, Mukhtar, you can unmute your mic. Um, okay. What are the examples of green jobs that somebody can look into? Like I've told you already. Let me just copy and paste in the chat. Examples of green job. Number one, I've mentioned climate smart farming, agri. Then you can also monitoring and climate data specialist data. So like I've mentioned, anything you are doing can be connected into climate. All you just need to do is to find the intersection. If you're a project manager now, you can be a specialist project manager in climate. If you're an accountant, there's climate finance. If you are a social media manager, there's climate communicator. If you are anything you are doing, solar, if you are making clothes, you can start making sustainable clothes. So they are not limited. Also, green logistics operator. There's a lot of electric vehicle now. Like I went to Landmark last 2 weeks, and I saw some people working they were charging, they were employing a lot of people there. They need people that have knowledge in climate. If you have knowledge in climate, they're going to take you over somebody that did not have knowledge. So that's my answer to that question. All right, next question. Next question. What organizations can we join? Yes, NG Youth SDG. I know they are looking for volunteers. Good Climate is also looking for volunteers. You can write me email. Um, so let me just type my email here. You can. Uh, so organization. There are so many organizations. Just search for that. You can I've mentioned recyclers, I've mentioned NG, DTSDG, I've mentioned good climate. Um, there's a whole lot online, so just check. Questions as an advocate, how do you think one can get sponsorship or support funds? So this is hard. So first thing you can do is that number one, show proof of concept. What have you done before? And there's a whole lot of places. Go to so just search online. Let me just look for few. I know I used to have like few here. MSME Africa. So they have like a whole lot of grants. So they announce grants. UNICEF also announced grants. UN Information Center also announced grants. So just go online, search, but it has to be according to the work that you are doing. You can't just say that you're looking for grants. GIZ also like give the support. So how does one get into climate policy as a student or even climate advocacy opportunities? Because the few opportunities I've seen that for graduates. Now, so like I said, so as a student, one of the ways you can get it is by volunteering for organizations. So volunteer for organizations so that when you now graduate, you can have experience. People are also going to look at your experience. Then I like another way is also that start your own page. Start your own page and start growing your page on social media and start writing too. You can write and post on Substack. You can post on Medium. So just do something. Like and I've mentioned, see, one of the easiest things to do now is dance. And seriously, I wish I can dance myself. Like I will have made a lot of money. All right. So any other question before I go? So that is my email. If you know you want to volunteer, you can just like send me an email. We'll reply to you. All right. So any other question before I go? Okay, I think there's no question again. So thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate you for your time. And please make sure all these things I've mentioned here, please make sure you do it. And that's my email also. You can send testimony. Please follow me on Instagram. So this is my name on Instagram. So follow me on Instagram, share your experiences, tag NGUTSDG, tag me with your experience so that I can also see what you are doing. All right. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye.
All right, thank you very much, sir, for that amazing session. I believe we've all learned a lot of insight, a lot of knowledge. And after this, I hope that we are activated to take actions, to make moves. We talk about, creating content around climate and, taking advantages of opportunities. Those are very valuable insights. There also something very important I also got is that leadership is governance plus entrepreneurship. If you put these two together, I think you are set for massive success. A big shout out to Oluseyi for this great session. I mean, it's really insightful and valuable. So, without further ado, okay, the attendance link is now on the chat box. Please do well to fill your attendance. Please do well to fill your attendance. And I hope that after this session, the learnings, everything that's shared here, we are going to go through it and make meaning out of it. So please fill the attendance link, and um, we hope to see you in the next session, and the impact that you are making, the moves that you are making as regarding the climate and industry, right? All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Please do well to
All
fill the
right.
attendance. Don't forget. All right. Over to you, Yetunde. Yes.
All right. Thank you, Samidin, for the wonderful session, for moderating the session for us. So, to us, the participants, please, I'd like to implore us to submit our previous interactive assignment, our interactive activity rather, that was shared to us via email, as it's going to be one of the things that will validate our certificate collection as well. So similarly, this week interactive activity will also be shared to us via email as well. So I hope you have a wonderful week ahead and you enjoy your weekend as well. Over to you, Sammy. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for the additions, Yetunde. Dear participants, you heard from the program lead mouth. You've heard from the us mouth. Please submit necessary assignments, fill your attendance list, and then you're going to have a smooth experience. This is me wishing you a great weekend. Enjoy your weekend, have fun, and keep learning. Thank you, everyone. Oh, you want us to have a picture? Okay, so let's try and figure out the picture. Okay, so everyone, I think we have to on our camera if we're going to take a picture. Everyone, let's have our cameras. Let's have our cameras. So, Yetunde, are you sharing your screen? Because I think I'm seeing you on the big screen. All right. So, at the count of three, everyone, let's have a good smile. Have a good smile. Let's see your teeth. Let's see your teeth. I'm not seeing you guys' teeth. Chinedu, Christopher, I'm not seeing your okay. Thank you. All right. All right. All right. So have a great day, everyone. Bye.